Introducing. Introducing the elemental that it realizes oneness, the all things and the noneness, with the borderland.
All is one, P.A. Finley, Anonymous, the universe, coming at you live once again on a beautiful Thursday morning, March 5th, 2020, sending out an atomic mushroom cloud explosion of love all across the globe, engulfing, encompassing, enveloping the entire planet that we call Earth. And everything that lies upon it, in it, and around it, all the way outward to the rest of the solar system, embracing the moon and the sun and the rest of our brother and sister planets, giving them all a big hug of love, of joy, of happiness, of appreciation, and of thankfulness and gratitude. Because we know that without them, there would be no us. Shout out to my All1llAs and my soul models. This is going to be part 3. Nice. Headed out to Oakland, but shout out to my All1llAs and my soul models, sending out a special satellite of love to you guys, support, backing. This is going to be part 3 to the hot and cold state. So in continuing with the storyline, this is Thursday, which is possibly my last day with Janico, my janitorial company that I've been working for 2 years. So in finishing up the scenario, they have an app. They just started using an app to record hours work. And I got paid, and I had just got finished doing extra hours helping. Y'all did videos. I was talking about it. I got to go to San Leandro. Got to do extra shifts over to San Leandro. And when I got my check, it was like a regular check with no extra hours on it. I was like, well, what? You know, and you guys know how we do, man. We spend that stuff before it gets here. So I was like, okay, well, let me check to see what the problem is, you know. And the app, which records your hours, didn't show 2 days. It was missing 2 days of my work. Not just a custom hours, but days. Like it didn't record none of the overtime, none of the San Leandro. I mean, from what I saw, remember the situation was less than what it looked like at the first. But my first impression was that it didn't record my hours. So no problem. Inform my supervisor and let them do what they got to do to take care of it, you know. So that's what I did. And my supervisor gets back at me. Now, I'm in San Leandro at the time. I'm actually at the on site at the extra spot. So here I am in San Leandro, checking my hours, checking my money. My supervisor gets back at me and says, "Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna check into that for you, man, and make sure that gets took care of." Now, again, this was like a last straw. There's been a number of things. I'm not gonna get all the way into it, but there's been a number of issues in referencing money. I know it's 2020, you know what I mean? And it's money. It's always something short, something no longer have access to, bonuses and all kinds of stuff. It's like, anyway, man, it just was a constant something that I was getting less of, less access to, it's like I was being cut out and shut out. I don't know, I was feeling a certain way. Like, I was getting this. Anyway, man, we got kids out here on the road. They got to get practice sometime. That was a carcass. See, I can't see nothing. And that's, when you get certain vehicles in front of you. So he's talking about, to him, in his eyes, he looked at the situation and saw that it was like an hour and some change off. Like, okay, no problem, man. We'll put that on the next check. I'm thinking myself, but I'm looking at $100 and something. I'm looking at a major chunk. He's looking at a couple of bucks. But I didn't know that's what he was looking at. And he didn't know what I was looking at. So, he got to talk about, I need my money. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Oh, come on, y'all know what I'm doing. I'm living off of 50. Y'all know what it is. I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time for my mama to do. Y'all, and I ain't trying. Come on, man. Yeah, let me do what I got to do. But y'all see what I'm talking about, right? Listen, y'all know how I feel about money anyway, right? So, I'm not trying to put 1,000 on it. But like I said before, This ain't the first time. I mean, this ain't the first issue in dealing. I'll give you another example. This is janitorial. So when your supervisor goes back and does inspections, when they do inspections, and you get a certain amount of points, you get bonus points. And you can turn them points into cash. So when you do, or you cover somebody else's ship, they give you points. Now, when they first started this, which was a new program, they get caught over here. Well, I can get caught over here. I can get caught. There's one of their new programs called Bonus. And you get extra points for doing covering for people, getting good scores on your inspections, and you get so many points, and you can turn that stuff into cash with PayPal. So, shoot, man, I was doing extra jobs, covering for folks, getting high inspection scores, doing what I do. Then all of a sudden, I wasn't getting nothing. I wasn't getting called for covering for people. I wasn't getting my inspections was below the threshold, so I wasn't getting no points on my inspections. All of a sudden, I wasn't getting nothing extra. And I'm like, huh? So I talked to my supervisor. I'm like, dude, what's going on, man? I'm starting to feel like a stepchild around here, Like, what did I do? Like, did I do something? Or, you know what I mean? What changed? Something changed. And I don't know, did it really just... So once I ask you something about something, I leave it alone. You give me your response is, it wasn't an answer to me. You didn't, So I kept telling him, dude, you can't keep, what's up with these inspections? Well, it's because of this and that. Dude, I'm paying for something. Like, give me an example. I'm just throwing some stuff out on the table. I wasn't never trained to wipe walls. And I don't, first of all, they know I don't dust and I don't do windows. I don't dust and do windows. Okay? I will dust if I have some time to dust, but I don't ever have time to dust. The amount of time they give me is just enough time to do the freaking work. So I prioritize everything else before dusting. Dusting is the last thing I do. That's like if I got some do time, which I never have. So now it's a kitchen sink. They got kitchen sinks up in there to be all messy and stuff. I don't clean some of them. Why I do dishes? We're gonna do dishes now? I don't do dishes. Now, if the sink is filled with dishes and it's all messed up, I don't touch the doggone thing. What am I gonna do? Wash your dishes, then I'll clean up the doggone thing. But I'm getting docked for things that I wasn't trained on. Or stuff that I wasn't even told to do. Dude, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. You didn't tell me to do these things, but I'm getting docked for them. I'm like, okay. I don't even say nothing. I just go ahead and I was like, okay. Because the big boss does the inspections. They inspect the inspectors, the big bosses. My supervisor. They go around and inspect the inspectors, make sure that they on their job. And they found some stuff on my sites, took pictures and sent them, did them. Hold on. Anyway, it's some stuff. You know how it is. That's the reason why I never tripped, right? I never tripped because there's stuff everywhere. You ain't gonna get away from stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can't get away from stuff. You can't get away from stuff, man. So everybody got stuff everywhere. So I just took it on the chin and kept it moving, man. I was, it still was working for me. So then they came up with this new app, because before we had to call in to clock in on the landline on site. Now you just punch a button on your phone, on an app on the phone, clock in, clock out. But it's linked to the location, so you gotta be at the location. You won't be able to log in. So you be at the location, the GPS, you're at the location, then you log in. Bam. Simplified. It was cool to me. So but the money thing, the money thing, and as it turns out, throughout all the investigation, I sent a screenshot because I told him why I went off. I went off when he told me that you was gonna get your money next week. Dude, I snapped, man. I was in my hot state. I snapped on my dog, man, and my supervisor's my dog, man. That's my guy. But dude, it was too much. It was too much, man. Everybody seemed like everybody was doing too much. Y'all trying to do me, man. And I'm like, man, why y'all trying to do me? I'm the guy. I'm your guy. I'm your go-to. I'm the guy. They telling me, my supervisor constantly telling me problems about everybody else. I'm thinking myself, man, I was like, I'm counseling my supervisor, man, because he's like, oh, man, I got to deal with these. Oh, I got to deal with these people. But you ain't never got to deal with me. I'm just saying. And then they peep game, and that's when they offered me the job, the up job. But that pretty much was off the table when I blew up at my supervisor, because they can't have people blowing up on people, especially in a leader position. I get it. You live long enough, you guys, and you learn, man, that this not to take stuff personally. You learn not to take stuff personally, man. It ain't personal. So I'm getting kind of personal with y'all. I really didn't want to put all this out like this. But I do want this is going to be an example for you guys. The hot state is off the chain, dude. And the beauty, what makes this beautiful I know that sounds crazy. How you find beauty in this, Pete? I'm gonna show you right now. The beauty is that I recognize it. The beauty is I recognize it, man. You know? I recognize it, man. You know? I mean, in the sense that I'm not denying, you know, because that's what we do in a hot state. We deny or we defend stupid positions. Dude, if you was in a hot state and you went off and you cut somebody out, you was wrong. Why are we talking about this still? You know? Why are we talking about this constantly? Okay, you guys, let me pause. I'm going to be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to finish this up. This is part 3 to the hot and cold state. In completion, matter of fact, this probably be a completion. But we bless you. But we in the hot, what makes this a blessing, you guys, and what makes this an awesome experience for me is that the hot state, the actions of the hot state, which erase the actions of the cold state. They erase each state erase each other's actions. When you're in a cold state, you're thinking clearly, so the stuff that you do is good stuff. And that erases the bad stuff you do. But the vice versa is true as well. And so, but how to make it not do that is by embracing the hot state. See, we deny the hot state. We either deny it or we defend it. Like, you know, especially if we're caught in it. If we're caught in the hot state, we defend it. And even if we're dead wrong, we'll till the wheels fall off. You know. Or if nobody's around while, you know, we was doing the stupid stuff in our hot states, then that's when, you know, we deny it. It wasn't us. We didn't do that. That wasn't me. I didn't do, you know. But I didn't have to admit this thing to you guys. I could have kept all this to myself and defended my position or denied it. But by embracing it and accepting it, the damage is lessened. You see? And I want you guys to understand this. This is the reason why I'm uploading this. And the reason why I'm putting this on the channel. It's because I messed up. I put in a 2 weeks notice in a hot state. Now my 2 weeks is up, which is, in a sense, it's okay. The whole thing is okay. I put in a 2 weeks notice. And I was fed up and, you know, I was in my hot state. My supervisor told me, man, that if he had just told me that you put in a 2 week state, then I could have worked it out differently. He's like, but you put it in writing. It's not texting. I put in my 2 weeks notice. And so, and I could have recanted, but I wasn't going to recant until they came, you know, with something. They cleared it up. His supervisor contacted me and broke down the essence of everything. Clarified the error. There was an error in the app, but I sent them a screenshot of what the app was showing me. And to let them know this is the reason why I went off, because it was days missing, not hours. You know? So, I'm headed back home, coming from Oakland. FYI, I'm gonna do an update on my core process. I just came from Oakland right now. But I'm gonna get into that later. Right now I'm closing out. But the whole point is that the hot state, the effects of the hot state can be lessened. And how am I lessening the effects? I'm still quitting. Then what that does, it opens up the door for the miracle. See, if I'm defending a negative position, or I'm denying that I made a negative decision and position, then that closes out the possibility of the miracle. You see? That's how that works. But if I embrace it and I confess, you see, my error, this opens up the door for the miracle. For that X factor, that thing that we all need and want and desire and hope for. You know what I mean? We need as many miracles as possible. You know? If you're anything like me, I need my miracles, man. I need them. So if I gotta confess it, my error, my wrong, if I gotta be open with it, then so be it. No problem. Will do. Can do. So, but the message is to you guys is to say, don't deny your high state. Embrace your hot state, man. Embrace your hot state. Embrace your madness. That's you. You did that. It ain't like you didn't do it because you denied, that means you didn't do it. No, you did that. You did that stupid thing. That we do. We do stupid stuff. Come on. That's why I'm putting my stuff on video. I want people to see this is how you deal with your stuff. You deal with your stuff. You don't deny it and you don't sweep it under the rug. You deal with it. And then forgive yourself. Embrace yourself. Love on yourself. Okay? Even though with all your screw ups and all that, yes, all that, embrace that. So, I'm going to close. Like, share, subscribe, leave comment. This is going to be the complete part 3, but it's going to be a completion of the hot and cold state. We do stuff, man. Y'all know them hot states, boy. Woo! But this also lessens your hot states. It allows you to be in the hot state but lukewarmish. You know? So you can still be, you don't have to be gone. Listen, this is a hot state event that it's like me losing it. I be in hot states, but rarely do I take action in hot states. I just don't do that anymore. This time I did. Let me know, man. I still got work to do. I mean, you all got work to do. I'm not work to do this. You know what I mean? But it's a trip, man. You make a decision, man, and it just changed everything. But I knew I was headed in this direction. It's just a push in that direction. Now I got more time to deal with y'all. I got more time to deal with my gig economy hookup. I got more time to deal, with my stuff. I ain't got to, that W-2, man. I don't know, man. That's a whole nother conversation. So, y'all know what time it is. Be beautiful as you are. Peace. And one is all.
Remind you who you are.
Oh my goodness gracious.